I'm sure you've heard that plant-based meat alternative products like Beyond Meat are unhealthy because they're processed. And as a parent of an 11-year-old child who decided to go vegetarian at 4 and hasn't looked back since, I've had this same concern myself. So let's discuss this claim and look at what the science shows about choosing plant-based meat alternatives. First off, yes, these products are processed, but like I discuss in my content often, the health value of a food is not solely determined by whether or not it's processed. What is more important than whether or not a food is processed is what we are actually getting from that food and how that impacts our health. And with plant-based meats, what are we actually getting? Let's look at the ingredients of this Beyond Beef patty. As you can see, it has protein from peas, brown rice, lentils, and fava beans. It has avocado oil. It has natural flavorings, which are natural compounds that are meant to mimic the flavor of beef. And then it has 2% or less of several different types of starches, which are meant to help bind things together and change the texture, just like when you add cornstarch to your food when you're cooking. Then it has potassium lactate, which is a preservative that is completely safe. It is a source of potassium and also considered an electrolyte. Then it has potassium salt, which is an alternative to sodium, vegetable juice for color, spices, and vinegar. Nothing too concerning here. Now let's look at the nutrition facts. For a 4-ounce Beyond Beef patty, you're going to get 230 calories, 21 grams of protein, 14 grams of fat, with only 2 of those being saturated fat. Compare this to 4 ounces of 80/20 ground beef, which would give you 290 calories, 19 grams of protein, 23 grams of fat, and 9 grams of saturated fat. So nutritionally, with the Beyond Beef patty, you're getting almost the same amount of protein with less calories and a lot less saturated fat than a traditional 80/20 ground beef burger. Now let's look at what the science shows about substituting meat for these plant-based meat alternatives. There was a study published earlier this year that compiled the results of 7 randomized controlled trials to examine the effect of replacing meat for plant-based meat alternatives, and it showed that these plant-based meat alternatives reduced LDL cholesterol and potentially led to lower body weight as well. And before anyone says, well, what about the funding source? The industry had no role in the funding of this study. And these findings are in line with a large body of research showing that there are likely health benefits from eating less animal protein and more plant protein. Now, the purpose of this video isn't to convince anyone to give up meat or go vegan. But I get asked about these products often, and if you are someone who wants to reduce your meat consumption for ethical, environmental, or health reasons, many of these plant-based meat alternatives can be a great option. And I'm not just saying this. I feed my son these products regularly, and I eat them quite often as well.